Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. We had beautiful walk-off home runs, we had conspiracy theories, and some other stuff. Let's talk baseball. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, presented by DraftKings. Thank you very much for joining us today to recap the week that was in Major League Baseball. As soon as this song ends, I'll tell you who we are. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. In California, we got Trev. And in the corner, Big Baby David. Nobody puts baby in a corner. I carried the watermelon. This episode is brought to you by some new patrons, Nathan Sheets, Phil Tama, Dr. Ben Brufflat, Chris Blazes, JJ Mark Catapana, Alex Marquez, and Gary Seven. That's a hilarious name.
R.I.P. to Gary Six.
Gary Seven?
Great movie.
Great movie, yeah. That was Trevor that just spoke. Trev, how you doing?
I'm fired up. You guys let me go get a cup of Joe before we started. I needed it. And now look at me. I'm fired the F up. I shared some stories from my Wednesday night with you guys. Maybe I'll get into them during the pod. Maybe I won't. I'm not really sure yet. But a lot of good baseball. I'm excited to talk. Jake looks kind of sexy today. I told him he looks like Lance McCullers Jr., and I kind of think he's hot. So, Jake, how are you doing?
Wow. Trev, a lot going on there. Thank you. Yeah, doing some back alley at bats today. Little ad that went up on the channel this week. JM Baseball got a great response. Love that. Yeah, this is my player coach outfit.
Are you playing in that outfit as well?
Yes.
You look like you have a rat tail. You know, like the people that have the
I
rat
wish.
tail on the back?
I got a haircut yesterday. I told them, can you put in a rat tail? And they said,
you gotta
stop talking
They said
to
you got
us.
to grow that shit from birth.
This isn't a haircuttery.
Yeah.
You think
This
that's
is
ever
a
going to come
deli.
back? The rat tail?
This
Like
is
that
a
was a
deli.
thing.
Trev.
Never left.
The rat tail never came. It never left. It just exists in a weird section of society.
Man.
Families that drink Mountain Dew instead of coffee, they give their kids rat tails.
Sometimes
I read that in a
West
sociology
Virginia.
book. Yeah.
Sometimes we call our dog Noodle. We call him Big Baby Noodle sometimes.
Stealing.
BBD in our sex life. So I'm doing well, man. Baseball
Why is
hot
the dog in
streets.
the sex life?
What?
That Houston-Boston game last night is crazy. Pistol Pete Alonso rallying up the PA. Baseball's hot in the streets. There's not much else you can say about it. And stay tuned. Might get some Talkin baseball later.
Not fucking might. You're going to get it.
Oh, wow.
Don't double
Spoiler.
charge me for that.
I heard a rumor it's the best one yet.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that rumor.
I heard it's the
maybe.
best scene, arguably, in the films, but I'm a books guy.
Jake is, yeah. Spark notes of the books.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else to talk about before we get into this? I have tendonitis of the elbow, Trev. So, have you ever had that?
Shoulder. I don't think I've had
No, elbow.
elbow tendonitis.
Oh, you've had the
Maybe I've
shoulder.
not.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had shoulder,
See.
yeah.
Guess you just don't throw hard.
Yeah, or just proper mechanics. Whatever. Either one is fine.
well,
you got a
tendonitis.
big game today.
Do you know who diagnosed me?
What's it called when you have a bruise, but there's like a medical term for it?
Contusion.
A contusion. I think contusion and tendonitis are two sophisticated words for just being like, it hurts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm-
That's Dr. Jake Storielli.
Dallas Braden diagnosed me. He said I'm fine. He said just loosen up.
God, he's sneaky jacked when he takes his shirt off. Looks great.
Every time.
I'm surprised every single time I see it. So
Great
shout out
body.
Dallas. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Oh,
Fumble!
I really want that back. If it comes my way, I'm going to grab it. For everyone not just watching, I dropped the ball that I was holding in my hand. Jake's holding a ball in his hand.
Y'all ready for this?
Makes me incredibly filled with jealousy
Hey.
that you have a ball in your hand and I drop mine.
I mean, you should have seen it the other day as a little kid. I was a dog strapped to a chair.
Trev's got a ball in his hand. Fuck this.
Boom is something tall and strong. That's how close the ball was?
Yeah, it was really close.
Let's talk some baseball, babe.
Way too much energy going on right now. Way
A lot
too
of
much.
sex in here recently.
It's someone commented. What did you say? In the studio?
What'd someone comment?
Someone commented after we posted the back alley at bats, like that's why there's been so much testosterone on the podcast lately. And it's a game day today, so maybe juices are flowing.
I'm juicing.
Yeah, we did buy. BBD did buy Spider Tack. So we might be. Jake and I were going to buy it a months ago, but we said that we'd get so messy.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be an image for our Patreon, so it's probably me just, like, stuck to objects.
Didn't they say, like, the only way to get it off is, like, to use something gasoline? Something crazy was, like, how they get it off their fingers. It's not soap and water. So I'm really hesitant to actually use that stuff. All right.
It's coming.
Read the directions.
I have the NL recap. Trev, did you pay attention to the National League at all?
Of course I did.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, I guess you can turn your ears off then. None of this matters. Jake, did you pay attention?
I saw some stuff.
Oh, well,
on the
listen up.
games.
I'll tell you what happened. Don't even worry about it. I got you.
Okay.
You ready?
I think so.
The Cubs took 2 of 3 from the Padres. I think the Padres haven't won a series in 2 series now, maybe more. I don't know. Both offenses struggled. The Cubs' starting pitching and relief pitching was just good enough. 3.21 ERA from the starters, 3 from the relievers. That's not great from a reliever in a 3-game set, but we'll take it because the Padres were worth on both ends. Rizzo, the only player on either team to record 4 hits. Sergio Alcantara hits his first home run in the 8th inning of Game 3. Baez sat the whole series with a sore thumb, and Grisham is set to start his rehab assignment. Padres, come on, guys, start winning. Because the Dodgers swept the Pirates, who stink. Very bad team. Dodgers hit really well. Dodgers pitched even better. Pirates starters had a 6 ERA. Bad. Turner had 2 home runs in Game 2. Reynolds had 2 home runs. Trade, maybe. And Roberts says an early July return is a fair timeline for Seager. How about that? The Phillies took 2 of 3 from the Braves, and this series gave everybody a lot to chew on. Phillies hit. Phillies won with 2 walk-offs. The first one coming from Luke Williams, who was on the Team USA team, and then got pulled to be on the Phillies. Hits a walk-off home run, first career home run. Did you give an award?
A breakdown.
Did you give him an award? Or did Trev give? Trev gave him the Talkin award last episode, I believe. You did. You forget your own Talkin awards? Segura walk-off 2-run single in Game 3. Wheeler was fantastic, and Gregorius starts a rehab assignment, so the Phillies take 2 of 3 from the Braves. The Marlins took 2 of 3 from the Rockies. Don't fully care about this, but the Marlins starting pitchers fish with arms. They pitched really well. The Rockies starting pitchers pitched terrible. Jesus. Lopez, Gomber, fuck that name, and Rogers. Story's going to return in 3 days. He went 1 for 3 with a single walkout and strikeout. Oh, we returned in Game 3. I had my dyslexia kick in. Koopaloop placed on the 10-day IL for the Marlins. Bummer. The Brew Crew takes 2 of 3 from the Reds. Reds thought they were getting hot, storming up the division. Brewers said, no, you're good. Just chill out. Hauser versus Gray in Game 1, and the Brewers take it. Peralta versus Castillo in Game 3, and the Brewers take it. Brewers starters didn't pitch that well, but the relievers went crazy. Adames had 6 hits. Vogelback, our dude, 2 homers. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Shaw placed on 10-day IL with dislocated left shoulder. Wong is expected to be back before end of June. And shout out to Jake's chain, because he has a chain now. Shout out to Fuego, who gave Jake the chain. Shout out to Wong for telling Jake to get a chain. Gray exits Game 1 with a groin injury, and he's going to miss 2 starts for the Reds, and that's a bummer. And that's all. A lot of interleague, so not too many national versus national series this week. So, like, I don't even know if we should do standings because there's so many interleague games that if we start doing the AL and NL, just like standings, we haven't talked about a lot of the series. Conundrum. What do you guys think about that?
I'll go.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll go.
Usually we talk about the state of the divisions
Yeah,
and the
no,
standings.
let's talk about the series a little bit. I think the one that jumps out, and it's the first series you discussed, James, Cubs, Pods. I did my late night. We were recording Talkin Yanks, so got an Uber about 2:15 a.m. Nice guy, Honda Accord, invited him up. And I did my Does Anyone Want to Talk late night, and got a lot of Padres fans in there because, West Coast. It's not as late as the East Coast. A little math pod for you. Man, the Cubbies, who we've been tasting a little bit, they win a nice little series at San Diego. And the Padres fans we're doing a little, should we be worried? What's going on with the Padres? And I'm like, if you're a Padres fan, I'd be asking you. I can't watch all these games. But, I know it does stand up. Those final 2 games, you only put 1 run on the scoreboard versus Davies and Arrieta. And, yeah, that's not going to be enough. So, go Cubs, go. Sorry, Fathers.
Sorry, Fathers. They haven't won a series in 3 series. They got swept by the Cubs, then split with the Mets, then they lost 2 out of 3 to the Cubs. So, Padres on a little bit of a slide. I don't think they should be too worried at all. But they're 3-7 in their last 10, 10-10 in their last 20.
Cubs at the top of the division. Everyone thinks they're going to sell Bryant. They're going to sell Baez. What are they going to do?
Compete for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I sure as hell hope so. You can't be trading people when you're freaking at the top of the division. They are in a bind. They're in a pickle, man.
I don't know the ins and outs of the lineups and the bullpen and all of that every day, but do the Cubs have pieces they can trade while still, as part of going all in, that may have value somewhere else that aren't getting a lot of run on the Cubs? Because they have so many people that are free agents. Are any of them somewhat like another team like, hey, you don't really use this guy, but we think we could? I don't know. I guess that's a question I should have researched.
Yeah. I mean, not really.
Okay.
Go.
They need a starter. They had one, a really good one, who they beat this series. That was pretty cool.
Let's see. Cubbies, what do they got coming up?
Is Sogard playing really well for them every single day?
He's not playing well at all.
They're man, so they host the Cards for 3. They go to Los Mets for 4, host the Marlins, 2-gamer with Cleveland and 4 with the Dodgers, and then the Brewers. So they're no walkover games for the Cubbies. The bottom would have to fall out. Otherwise, you can't trade any of those guys. And I think...
Is Duffy hurt still?
Duffman.
Is he doing anything? They just have
They don't
so
really
many
need anything except for a starting pitching, which every single team needs.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what they're looking to go out and get. I think the biggest thing for them is we could just keep all their guys or we don't keep all their guys.
Yeah,
that's the decision they're making.
Sometimes 2 teams that are contending swap pieces for the active roster. So I was just wondering if they have any of those guys. But
Jake Marisnick, he's been playing really well, and he kind of always seems to be on the move.
You got to bring that name up when Jake's having a great day.
Come on.
Former Houston Astros.
Doesn't represent the Jakes well.
Sure he does. I love that guy.
He might end up on the Yankees because they need a defensive center fielder who hits right-handed. So, preparing myself for that.
Do you cash in on Patrick Wisdom's streak and just say, hey, look at this guy. Look at our shiny new thing we got.
You run into a Trevor Plouffe, you keep him. That's the one thing I've learned in this world.
God, he doesn't look like me.
No.
Hitting the shit out of the ball, though. I like that.
Do like that. What else do we got here? Dodgers sweep the Pirates, and that's obvious. Call up Cole Tucker. Pirates, if you want to be good at anything. Cole Tucker repping the JOMBOY Media shirt on Vanessa Hudgens' story. Whoops. Sorry.
Yeah, he texted me yesterday to ask how I was doing, and I said, great.
He's a nice
guy.
guy.
Usually people have something they want when they text you that. He doesn't. He just wants to see how I'm doing, and that makes me very happy.
He's stoked about his Phoenix Suns doing big things, so that's good. I guess the other series that, Brewers-Reds is kind of good baseball. Braves-Phillies.
Yes.
Phillies end up sneaking up 2 out of 3, winning that last game in 10. That was a wild one. I know Braves fans were losing their crap on the internet.
That was a fun series.
They went up BBD, correct me if I'm wrong, but they went up 3. The Braves went up 3-1 in the 10th.
I believe.
And
I believe you've got that right.
The Phillies, Gene Segura following Alec Bohm, a couple Phillies infielders, made for a nice little end of game there. So, fighting Phils. I'm excited to watch them this weekend. They're playing the Yanks. NL East Slogfest. Oh yeah. Well,
Jim, I did not give my award to Luke Williams, although he was part of it. I gave it to Team USA for making the Olympics.
Okay. That conversation about him came up during your award segment. I was just hazing.
I think it was on our Chris Rose IG Live. I think that's what you're referring to. If you watch that, we do that every morning, 8:30 Pacific, 11:30 Eastern.
For the Braves, another young pitcher coming up, pitching well for them in Tucker Davidson. Where's he from? He's got to be from Texas, right? Tucker Davidson.
Peter Moylan was all over that on Farm to Fame. They posted the clip today.
He was.
Midland, Texas.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's that easy.
Yeah.
You're not going to be from Maine and be called Tucker Davidson.
See, I could see Maine in the running. I think you should have went more East Coast. Isolated enough, you can throw a Tucker Davidson.
No, the South has a lot of people who name their
100%.
sons the same as they name their dogs. Like Tucker, you name your dog Tucker, you name your son Tucker, you're proud of them both.
Dog Jake.
Yeah. Tucker Davidson.
Two last names, Tucker Davidson.
His Twitter handle is Tuck Tuck.
So we like that. And that's obvious.
Oh, also, such a Southern thing. His middle name's Tucker. He goes by his middle name, Joseph Tucker Davidson.
See, there's the reveal.
Yeah,
there's the
that
reveal.
makes all more sense.
You know what? I know we're not doing full standing stuff, and Trev's still confused by that. But I was gonna say NL East slog, and it's really not. The Phillies and the Braves are neck and neck.
Why are you talking about standings right now?
Why shouldn't we talk about standings right now?
Because we said we're going to wait till after the interleague to talk about it.
He is right. There he is.
Back,
He's
baby. Back in the New York groove. Oh, Katie Cunningham in the chat.
Braves have the 20th best record in the big leagues right now.
Baka, Luca, we have 3 people with Jake Dogs live in the chat.
Well, I didn't know that Jake was for real a common dog name because you always made those jokes. I've said this before, but
Wasn't a joke.
I know. I thought you were just joking, and then I Googled most common male dog names, and that's weird to me. I had never why is Jake such a common dog
I knew
name?
a few Jakes growing up.
It's weird. Anyway, Molly and Maggie were the top female dog names forever.
Abe in the chat, that Betts throw, that Betts play was pretty nasty.
Yes.
When he shows it, when he shows off some of his tools in the tool bag, that's always a special moment. Rockies Marlins, sorry guys.
I made a reference to that for that play. You know, when you watch the X Games and they're skateboarding or BMX and they do a trick and you're like, oh, that's not that cool. But then the announcer's like, oh my gosh, that's so technical of a trick. It's so hard to do. And you're like, oh, it doesn't look that hard, but I guess you're telling me it's hard. So I'm going to agree with you. It's kind of like that play. It looked hard, but it's much harder than it looked, going there, glove side, shoestring catch coming in on the ball, planting, spinning, throwing an accurate throw home. That is one of the more technical plays an outfielder can make. So as much love as it has been getting, it should probably get more. Mookie, we haven't even talked about Mookie at all this year. We really haven't. It's not like he's having a bad freaking year. He's having a really good year.
The number one quote from the baseball season so far involves Mookie Betts.
What is it? Oh, A-Rod? Do we have that soundbite anywhere?
Just constantly playing in my head.
I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that in a while. I tweeted. Let me see if
Bring it up. Trev, I love that comparison, big guy.
Thank you.
You always see they do the slow-mo replay of the half pipe, and they're like, and look at the grab right there. And you're like, well, he did a 1280. I'm kind of more impressed by that than the heel grab. But if you're telling me that's the tough part, then I'm all in.
It's going to be so hard for me to find that video because I believe the content of the video was so good that I did not caption the tweet because I couldn't perfect it. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Because how do you caption that A-Rod tweet?
Let's see.
I don't even know what you're talking about. The Poppy one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know, because it's amazing.
Mookie Betts.
Rockies, Marlins.
I said, Poppy, can he play baseball? He said, can he play baseball?
That's it. You did it.
It's so funny, man. Did you find it?
I think I'm airdropping it to you. Don't know if that works. Otherwise, I'll text the link.
Before the
You might have
quote
done
of the-
my desktop.
For the quote of the year. There it is. Brewers, Reds. Brewers take 2 out of 3. They stay hot in the streets, man. Holy smokes. Slick Willie Adames is doing it for him. Also, I know you guys might think I'm just a total sellout, and I'm willing to be. Willie Adames, Chris Rose rotation episode, another fantastic ep. And he's got some of the worst home splits from the Trop ever, and he talks about it. He says, I couldn't see the ball there.
Yeah, he said that when we had him on we had him on Instagram Live. He was like, what do we say? Like, you're gonna miss the Trop, like joking, and he was like, I couldn't hit there. Like he was resigned to his fate as like, I just can't hit at the Trop. I wonder how many other.
He talks about telling like his other, MLB guys he knows from the Dominican Republic and stuff like that, and they'd be like,
I said, Poppy, can he play baseball? He said, man, can he play baseball? His name is Mookie Betts. I said, Poppy, can he play baseball? He said, man, can he play baseball?
That is amazing.
So this obviously factors in a couple Brew Crew game now where Willie Adames has been raking. Career at home, so mostly the Trop, he's a 630 OPS, 219 batting average. On the road, 169 games, BBD, very nice. 297, 868 OPS. Let's
go.
Like that's an all-star shortstop.
Yeah, because he can pick it. He's got a sweet swing. I kept telling you guys,
So-
this guy's going to do something big. He never did.
Are the
but-
Brewers really smart then? Did they like?
They could be.
Maybe. Why? Okay, if you're really Adames' agent,
Right.
I don't know the legalities of agenting,
Sure.
but it seems like you have a lot of little birdies, say like, hey, Adames can't see the ball at home.
Yeah.
Look at his road numbers. He could be doing that for you. You want to trade for him? Maybe that's what happened.
And his personality's off the chart, too. The episode's great. But, yeah, I mean, right now he's an 8.5 WAR career shortstop at age 25 that the Crew just went out and got. So that's a classic Brew Crew move. Keep raking, Willie. Keep raking, Willie.
The Reds, Sonny Gray gets hurt. You gonna talk about the Reds at all? Do we need to say anything about the Reds, the Rockies, or the Marlins?
Not really.
Did you see Jazz Chisholm's homer yesterday?
Did see that.
I did not. No.
Bomb, nice bat drop.
I saw it, Trev.
I got to say this about bat flips, drops.
Okay.
I got to tell people, it's not about how high you throw the bat. It's just about the overall look. There's a feel to it. Like, don't be so concerned about how high you throw it. There's other things that make it good. The way you do it, where you're looking, how far the freaking ball goes. Just don't get caught up. I see a lot of like high school and college kids throwing the shit out of the bat way too high. It's dangerous and doesn't even look as cool as like what Jazz Chisholm did.
I agree. I don't.
This is just like a
I don't like the
casual-
high ones. I like the get off me ones.
Drop.
When
Yeah,
they kind of
that's what Jazz did
They
last
kind of
night.
swing and they're like, done with you.
Playing the dangerous card is a little soft, but I do believe it is.
Oh, what do you mean?
I think it is the straight drop is cooler than tossing it up.
It is dangerous.
I mean, it is, but like you can see the bat. Also, people
Not
have
little-
I like
eyes.
throwing
It's
the
a
bats.
Jomboy excuse. They don't have eyes.
Tim Anderson throwing the bat backwards towards the dugout changed things. I really enjoy that. Now, Big Poppy has done that too. I guess I can't give Tim Anderson all the credit for that because Poppy did it in the Trop, I believe. You guys remember that?
Well, that's
Troppy.
Tim Anderson's thing, and he's good at it, and I like it.
Poppy did it.
Yeah,
for
I
the
like
Yanks
that. So
a
that's
few
a new-
times.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk about Ranger Suarez at all?
Ranger,
Ranger Suarez,
I'm good.
I like him a lot, actually.
Little pat on the back.
perfect season so far. 20
Trevor-
innings, 0 earned runs.
Trevor Rogers keeps doing it. 13 starts, 2.02 ERA. He might be in
Yeah.
Colorado this year, and I took a flyer on him as my breakout guy. Also, Rowdy Tellez, who's playing terrible. So that's the great game, people.
That's the great game, people. Let's go to the American League. Jake, you're up.
I am up.
Trev, you're up.
Batting second in the lineup, it's me. The Yankees go into Minnesota. Big series for the Twins. No, it's not. They lost 2 out of 3. Yankees embarrassed them the first 2 games. 8-4 Yanks, 9-6 Yanks, 7-5 Twins on a beautiful bottom of the 9th against Chapman. Both offenses hit really well. Yankee starters with the 4.11 ERA, and the relief pitchers did not get it done. Doesn't matter, though, because the Twins starters were horrible and the relievers were not good either. We talked about that was Donaldson and Cruz with the homers off Chapman to walk off Game 3. Stanton went bananas. 3 homers, 2 in Game 2, and Andujar 2 homers. Now Stanton's not even going to play against the Phillies, right? Nope. Not even going to freaking play. He needs to rest. That was too many homers for him. Donaldson, after the presser about Cole, went 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. But you know what? Doesn't matter because he redeemed himself against Chapman. Yankees take 2 of 3, though. The Twins are dead. We declared them dead. They're still dead. I'll be in Minnesota next week also. Moving on. The Astros go up into Boston. They take 2 out of 3. They won the first 2 games 7-1, 8-3 until the Red Sox came and won 12-8 in the last game. Valdez versus Perez, our boy Framber. Odorizzi versus Eovaldi. Rodriguez versus Greinke. The Astros hit the crap out of the ball. Slash 339, 419, 607. Red Sox did not. Starting pitchers for the Astros pitched to a 4.7 ERA. I don't know what that means. Red Sox starting pitchers were abysmal. 12.41 ERA. The Astros can just bang, man. They went up and did it up in Fenway. Altuve had 2 homers. Bregman and Gurriel 6 hits apiece. Framber, I talked about him earlier. 7 in the 3rd innings, pitched 1 earned run in Game 1. Jason Castro will start his rehab assignment on Friday. The rich get richer. Really like the Astros right now. Moving on to Detroit. The Tigers doing it against the Mariners. They take 2 out of 3 at home. They win the first game 5-3. That was Boyd versus Gonzalez. Lost the second one in extras to the Mariners 9-6 before winning the rubber match 8-3. The Tigers hit 276, 333, 533 with 6 homers. The Mariners did not hit because they kind of stink. Tigers starting pitchers were good. Mariners starting pitchers were bad. Grossman and Rogers had 2 homers apiece. And Mitch Haniger, our guy, 2 homers in the Game 3 loss. Tigers take 2 out of 3. This is one of the better series of the week. Blue Jays up in Chicago facing the White Sox. The White Sox take 2 out of 3. 6-1 White Sox in Game 1. That was Rodon versus Ray, the 2 R's. Blue Jays take Game 2 6-2 before losing the rubber match 5-2 to the White Sox. Both offenses struggled, and guess what? Because of that, both starting pitchers groups did well. That was tough for me. Lance Lynn, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run in Game 2 before the bullpen blows it. Grandal, who has been having the craziest year of any hitter in MLB history, hits his 10th home run of the season and draws 4 walks. 135 OPS plus on the season despite a 160 batting average. That shit is crazy. This is a tough one for us. We pumped up Madrigal, got him hitting extra base hits. He was going gangbusters. Now he's on the 60-day IL with a big-time right hamstring tear. So positive vibes to that guy. You were doing some really good things. And Kevin Biggio could return this weekend for the Blue Jays. White Sox take 2 out of 3. In the last series in the AL recap, the Royals go into Anaheim. And the Angels swept the shit out of them. They've been playing some good ball. 8-3 Angels, 8-1 Angels, 6-1 Angels. The Angels hit the ball. The Royals did not. The Angels pitched well. The Royals did not. Stassi, 7 hits, 2 homers, 4 extra base hits, and 5 RBIs. He's kind of taken over that starting job at catcher for the Angels. Ohtani, who I did a sequence on this at bat, hits a 470-foot home run. He said he got it off the end of the bat. That's a true story. Trout will be back soon. The Angels almost back to 500, baby. They get the sweep, and that is it for the AL.
I was watching. I have
the game.
Yeah, if you didn't say that last sentence, you would have been gangbusters. I was watching the music as it was getting to the end, and I was looking at the notes you were reading as they were getting to the end, and I was like, we have something brewing here. So that was
the channel.
That was fun for me. Great job, Trev, and that was brought to you by Spark Catch. Jake, show him the ball.
All day.
I love Spark Catch.
Spark Catch baseball is the same weight, size, and genuine leather as an MLB baseball, but it's the world's first LED baseball with many patented designs.
People
it glows
probably
in the
thought
dark.
I was just holding a regular baseball.
Yeah, and if we were to turn all the lights off, and then you were to turn that on, it glows in the dark.
Glows.
Impact tested up to 86 miles per hour, so all of us can use it because none of us can throw harder than that.
Depends
Even
on the day
Trevor
for
on
me.
the best day of his life.
Depends on the day.
MLB, they liked it. They said on TikTok, you guys are onto some here. And Leo Rojas, he likes it too. So to get your Spark Catch Let Up Baseball, perfect summer time activity. Throw a ball on the beach at night. Go practice at night. Man, it'd be a lot of fun. We've thrown it at nighttime.
Might be a nice cross point of fun in baseball. That's what we try to do here. You know, it's dark out. You got to pump a couple heaters, get that 77-mile-per-hour fastball up to 79.
Yeah.
Spark Catch.
They got 4 colors. Ruthless red. Ice blue. Neon green. And ultraviolet purple. You can get the Spark Catch Let It Baseball at Amazon. You just got to search Spark Catch. Go to the Amazon store and product page. Spark Catch. It doesn't come in
I brought a
jar.
Spark Catch camping, and it was the hit of the weekend. Playing catch at nighttime after having a few beers. It's a big freaking hit. And like you said, Jim, it just feels like a regular baseball when you throw it, which is the coolest thing to me.
Love those edible beers.
Can we have, if you have Trev's isolated audio when you edit the episode, if you can, because of the music was playing in the background, if you can get his isolated audio for the up second, it's me.
Yeah.
I'd like the it's me as a drop.
Yeah.
It's like Mario. It's me, Mario.
That can be arranged.
It's cute.
It made us laugh. Someone quoted you in the chat, Trev, when you said, "I'm Jake Storielli. I'm a weasel." That's a funny quote.
The fans remember that quote.
Yeah. That's a great quote.
It's
an all-timer.
It is really funny.
An all-timer. Maybe shirts. Astros-Red Sox. I know a lot of people got a taste of that last night. That was a crazy game. A bunch of cheap homers. I even stirred the pot a little bit, and I think what people don't I just laugh because there's, a bunch of Red Sox fans that'll call Yankees Stadium a Mickey Mouse Stadium for a short porch, and it's like, you have a pesky pole, you have a giant monster of a wall in left field. That being said, I like Fenway. I like that it's quirky and fun. But yeah, there was a couple cheapies yesterday that went against the Sox, but they persevered. They put a 12 spot on the board, and the infield fly call was controversial of sorts.
I didn't mind it.
Every inning was chaos. There was a double play by the Red Sox later in that game with Ottavino on the mound that Houston thought it was a foul ball, so they just started tagging guys and got 2 outs. A good chaotic fest at Fenway.
Trev, I also thought the infield fly call was a fine call.
He was camped, just sitting there.
Dropped
the fucking ball.
What was the verbiage?
We looked at the rule for infield fly. So Correa, he does like the wave off. I got it, which the ump says, okay, you camped, infield fly. It was in the outfield. So I think a lot of people get confused about that because the name is infield fly, but the rule mentions nothing about the infield.
Right. Yeah.
The rule just says if a player, an infielder, I think infielder, not an outfielder. If an infielder is catching a pop-up with ordinary effort.
Ordinary effort was a nice little twinge of gray that the baseball gods put in there. But, yeah, I mean, it kind of worked out for Boston either way. Like, the runners moved up. So, I don't know. Correa should squeeze that ball, and it should be a non-conversation. But this was the time he did it, and it's one of those.
If they called it infielder fly, I don't think people would complain as much, which is what the rule actually is. It doesn't have to be in the infield. It just has to be an infielder making a routine catch.
Tony Clark, make note of that for the CBA. We are changing the name of the rule to infielder fly.
I think there'd be less controversy there.
I like that. And John, I forget I think this is you going back before we got in the content game even. I forget if your dad was, I think you said one time your dad was with international customers at a baseball game and was like explaining stuff. And I mean, infield fly and like what happened at that moment. That's a doozy. That's a doozy to say, well.
Baseball is very hard to break into as a casual fan because of all those rules. Right. But once you do, you are, the Michael Scott quote. I love inside jokes. I love to be a part of them someday.
Yeah.
Like if you just can watch that infield fly in live time and know exactly what the ump called, and like if someone turns
Why it's a
someone
discussion.
yeah, why it's a discussion. Like baseball's a secret club almost because it's so nuanced and weird. It's weird. There's no other game like it.
It's weird.
Cricket maybe, but even cricket's simpler than baseball.
And Boston was happy to get that one because they were getting beat up by the Stros. I think coming into that game, they'd lost 5 of 6 to Houston. Framber dropping it on the table again, and fellow Jake Odo with the start in that series. But, I mean, Houston rakes, man. My goodness.
They're good.
Yuli Gurriel, who doesn't get mentioned with anybody on that team for being a good hitter. He's leading the league in batting average right now.
What was the stat that Yuli?
The bases loaded. He's the best hitter with the bases loaded in MLB history.
Yeah.
MLB history, yeah.
Yeah. With
That's-
50 at-bats or something like that.
Yeah. Man. The Yankees take 2 out of 3 from the Twins in a 2 teams that were supposed to be good but are bad series. I was happy with the Yankees. I mean, from where we were, they were so bad, so whatever. But they're dead, and the Twins are dead. And how many
Are you still saying the Yankees are dead, or you can't change
Yanks
that?
are-
I
right?
can't
You're-
change it. I
that's-
had made the rule.
Yanks aren't dead.
Jake, where do you stand with that?
Yanks aren't dead. It's a long season. You know, everything we did.
I don't think the Yankees are dead either.
Yeah.
I don't either, but I made the
He
rule.
made the rule,
I mean,
so he
I
has
can't-
to abide
Well,
by
yeah,
it.
you have to stand
I
by
can't-
it.
Has to
You
abide
can't say
by
that you don't believe it either. You have to say you believe it. That's
Yeah.
part of the
No.
rule.
I usually say I reserve the right to change my mind. On this time I didn't. I said if the Tigers sweep you, you're dead, so I can't. I have to. It's like umpiring. It's like, well, I disagree with the rule, but I have to enforce it.
The rule is called on the field, so
Yeah.
it can't change it.
Interesting.
What team should we declare dead today? Tigers, they've been dead. Mariners been declared dead.
Not dead.
Astros
We
have.
got a lot of time, guys.
Astros
we're,
or Tigers
We're like
dead?
60 games in. We're last
I'll
season
say
in.
this: the Angels are still dead. They never were awake.
Yeah.
They're still dead. They've been playing really good ball. We talked about it this morning with Chris Rose on the IG Live. I think they've won 11 of 16, couple games below 500.
Aren't the Angels the same record as the Yankees now?
No.
They've been hitting the crap.
People
no,
are
they're still
tweeting
under
at us
500.
that they're both in third place now. The Angels are tied for third place with the Mariners at 30 and 32.
Oh, that's what it was then. They were the same.
Yankees-
Both.
Yes.
They're both third place, 6 games back. That's what it
I
was.
was just gonna say I think it might be same games back.
Yeah. Good for the Angels. That
It's
was fun.
the Angels. What's been going on is they can hit. Like they have stars on that side of the ball. You know, Rendon has been a shell of himself, but Walsh has been good. Ohtani's been good. Trout, when he's on the field, is amazing. Obviously, Upton's been really good. So when you have an offense that can do it, and I had the stats up. Where are they?
Adam.
They're the top half of the league in OPS plus. They're actually right at 100, and league average is 97 right now. So like they're getting going. And then if you line up some good pitching, you're going to win some games. Their pitching just isn't going to be there all year. Like they have to be lined up on both sides of the ball to win, and that just doesn't happen. So I know Nate's probably in the chat defending them right now, but I know they've been pitching better as of late, but I think that's going to be a 2-week thing. You know, they need to do that all season. It's going to be really tough.
How about this? I will root for the Angels to be.
Yeah, Stassi's been really good too.
I'll root for the Angels to be in a decent spot, like 500, when Mike Trout comes back. So then they can make that an Angel storyline. Like, the Angels are 500. They just got Trout back. So people can get excited about that.
Okay.
It's the Twins can hit the shit out of the ball. They're second in the league in OPS plus. They just can't pitch.
What's up with Dobnak, dude?
I mean, he doesn't have great stuff. He has to have like elite command to be good. He'd done that before. They gave him a deal.
He looked like
You
he
know,
didn't want to
because
be
they
out
said-
there.
When you're going up against that lineup and you don't have elite stuff and your command isn't there, he probably didn't want to be out there. Some big boys in that lineup smashing the shit out of the ball.
You're in for a bad time. Get that money, Dobnak. Good
There's
for you.
a series that doesn't deserve much talking, the Tigers versus Mariners, but Jake Fraley with one of the cooler plays robs the walk-off home run and turns it into a double play. And he's also been crushing it with the bat in his last stint. He in his last 5 games, he's got his numbers are crazy. It's a very small sample size, but good week for Jake Fraley.
He's a Jake.
So many
huge
Jakes.
catch, and when the camera pans to him after he makes the play, you haven't seen an outfielder with that kind of intense of a look since Jason Worth.
I
like
edited
that.
the breakdown, but I haven't recorded it. Maybe I'm too late now. But it's really funny because they pan to Fraley and he's just intense, like, did I just did that? I just did that. And then the runner is looking back at him like, did you just do that? And then they cut to the pitcher and he's looking and he literally says, did you just do that?
Just did that.
Yeah, you just did that? Yeah, so it's a really funny little like 3-clip montage. Maybe if I get time, I'll do it. Shout out to Jake Fraley.
And then the Twins, man, in that final game, Yankees going for the sweep, broomsticks out, Aroldis Chapman on the mound. Holy. Trev's hitting coach Donaldson, who was making other news this week, and then Nelly Cruz. How's your dinger fest? They walk it off.
It's quick.
They were excited. It was quick. It's one of
How many pitches was
one
that?
of the
It was
quicker
like,
turns in baseball.
I think he threw 9 pitches.
Fuck, are you serious? It was 9 pitches?
I believe so. I'll double check.
So he gave up
4 runs?
hit, homer, pinch hit, homer. See ya.
Goodbye.
And now the Twins are like, we can do it.
Yeah.
We can
Looking
do it. We
for
got
the
momentum,
spark.
baby. Yeah, too bad the Astros come into play this week.
Got to beat the best to be the best.
You guys want to talk about
What
Cole
else
and
we
Donaldson
got?
here? Or is that coming up later?
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Serious question.
Queen.
Do you think these guys, even all this shit coming out, do you think these guys have like stopped using stuff? I know the spin rate for Cole has been down a little bit. Do you think he's completely clean
No,
now?
I think he used it last game. I think it was back up to very close to his normal.
Insignificant difference.
I'm wondering that because people are going to be checking the spin rates, like you're saying, Jim, every 2 seconds. There's still no way. They're not enforcing it yet. So, like,
There's
why would they
still
stop?
no line in the sand. I do think MLB sent out a secret memo to all the teams, like, we've given the umpires the go on this, and if you get caught, this is such a hot story right now, you're going to be the face of it. Like, if you're the guy called out, if you're Cole or Bauer, and the ump comes get you, that's going to be a terrible time for you. I do believe, in Lindsay Adler of The Athletic had a good piece on it, that I think it is the MLB trying to divide the players a little bit. Like, it sounds diabolical, it sounds sick, but this topic has been around so much. By the way, the offenses are starting to click a little bit.
It's not dividing the players, though. That's the thing. It's not dividing.
That's
the
what-
players. Everybody wants it out. Everybody wants it out.
Yeah, but no. Pitchers don't want it out that are using it. There was questions about that, like, I am fine with what Josh Donaldson said. I've been on record the whole time. I wish he would have initially said more pitchers and not just Cole, but at the time, Cole was the only pitcher whose RPM was down. And the next day, he was like, well, Cole was the only example, but Bowers is down, and he named a bunch of other pitchers. Like, they're all down. Cole was just the only example at the time. But they asked Cole, like, should this not be a player versus player thing? And I don't think it should. Like, this shouldn't turn in to hitters versus pitchers, which I don't know, Trev. That's kind of, you don't like pitchers, but this is a league issue. They went around and they told everyone it's okay. You have a manager and a player on record that they got freedom to use it this year, or, carte blanche, like, we're not going to get you in trouble. Now the league halfway through is realizing what happened because they did that. People are being as obvious as ever, the dead end ball plus the spin rate, and now you have hitters that are like, what the fuck? This is crazy. And now it's turning into a somewhat of a pitcher versus hitter thing, which it shouldn't. It should be a league thing. Like, I like Trout's comments on it. I agree with Trout said, I agree with Trevor Bauer. We need an even playing field. And like Judge said the same thing, like, there's a rule here. You need to enforce it or redefine it. Like, the players should go at the league, not each other on this. Because that's what it is.
I think 100% there was probably a memo sent out to all the guys from the Players Association saying, like, hey, like, let's keep this, let's say the league is the problem. And the thing is, Jim, when's the last time the league has policed itself? It never does. Like, the players always have to do the damn policing. That's always happens. The league is so far behind, and maybe they do want the little rifts between players. But what I'm hearing, from the guys that I'm talking to, everyone just, like you're saying, wants a level playing field. And I don't think there's a divide like the media is making it out to be. I think everybody's on the same page. It's just that freaking players got to police the game because MLB will not do it.
Well, let's CBA up right now and do the Alonso thing right now, because, Trev, I know you talked to Chris Rose on your guys' daily show about a little bit, and Pete Alonso came in firing off the hips, baby. That was pretty wild. Trev, I don't know. Do you want to walk the people through it? And because you had some strong thoughts on it.
And this juicy conversation is brought to you by Fundrise. This is a big one. Fundrise will help you for sure. In 2021, a truly diversified portfolio, Trev, needs more than the traditional mix of stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. It needs private real estate. Studies have shown that portfolios with an allocation to private real estate generally delivered a better risk-adjusted return with more annual income and lower volatility over the past 2 decades, thanks to its track record of consistent performance through multiple market cycles. With Fundrise, this level of powerful diversification is now available to you. If you have... So see for yourself how 150,000 investors have built a better portfolio with private real estate. It takes just a few minutes to get started. Go to fundrise.com/baseball today. That's fundrise.com/baseball. Fundrise.com/baseball. Get your portfolio in line. Earn some money for yourself, I guess. Sounds awesome. All right. Pete Alonso, conspiracy theory that he said is a fact. I'll let you go first, Trev, because you're the closest to the union and the players and all of this. I obviously have a lot of thoughts myself.
Yeah, I mean, look, started off, Rawlings has been making the balls for Major League Baseball for a long time. In 2018, MLB stepped in, bought a controlling share or all of Rawlings for $395 million. Now, they said it was to get better. They even said, like, this is for us to get better control over the manufacturing of the ball. So, like, I like what Pete is saying. It's pretty funny, and it does line up. But I do think they really did want to just get control of the ball to make sure it was uniform, but they've really fucked that up. Changed manufacturing plants and the way they've done it. So, like, the ball has been different. And, yeah, juiced ball, that was a lot of pitchers coming on the free agent market. De-juiced ball, a lot of position players coming on the free agent market. So I don't know in my opinion, I don't think that they are doing this on purpose, but the fact that they fucking could is the scary part. They are controlling that ball, and they don't exactly have the best track record of being honest and open about things. Am I right?
Before Jimbo rips, Trev, had you heard anything from any players about anything along these lines before the Alonso quote?
Not necessarily like lining up and saying this is them doing it on purpose. Obviously, people talk about the balls all the time. So, there was pitchers. Well, no, the players too. Like, there was one time when the blisters were going around starting pitchers, like the MLB fucked the balls up. But then, yeah, juice balls. We've been talking about the balls a long time. The players have been talking about the differences in balls a long time. But I had not heard the theory of MLB doing it on purpose to suppress free agent salaries. That's the first I heard of it. And I don't know if I'm out of the loop or what. But it lines up. And like I said, even the fact that they have the ability to do this on a year in and year out basis is a little bit scary. And the fact that we don't trust them enough to not fucking do it says a lot.
I guess someone just asked, like, what are we talking about? And we didn't say that at the start. Alonso said he has no problem with the sticky substance. He has a problem with MLB changing the balls based on the free agent class. They asked him, you think they make it juiced or de-juiced based on if there's going to be more pitchers hitting the market or hitters hitting the market? And he responded, it's a fact that they do that. Alonso's too old to be sounding like an 18-year-old conspiracy theorist who just found out about communism for the first time. Like, he's just too old to be talking like that into a microphone. And I think the league hates him, and I would guess the MLBPA is pretty pissed at him as well. Because if it's a fact, then you have to file a grievance, or you don't file a grievance because it's not a fact. So like you just, he kind of threw out the literally in the fake literally sense. Like you just can't say that into a microphone because the shitstorm that you've caused. Like even the fact that this is out there, the league is going to be pissed, and the MLBPA looks terrible because if this is a fact, well, what are you doing? You're not doing anything about it. You have proof, and your players are proof. If it's
Save it for the negotiating table.
exactly, you shouldn't have said anything.
Put those feelers out there.
And yeah, it's just stupid, man. It's just really stupid that Pete said that. Even if it was true, you just like leave that to the negotiating and the PA. There's no way they're doing that on purpose. They're just incompetent with the balls. There's been scientists that have done it, tons of studies. The fact that they can change the ball, and it, like you said, Trev, the fact that this can happen since they own Rawlings is a problem. All the pitchers in the juice ball era broke records for contracts they got. And all the hitters in the other years got really good deals too. So like the free agent class signings don't line up money-wise, free agent-wise. Yeah, I just think if that was true, then you just had like, a low-level employee like out it as a fact, and you're like, dude, we've been saving up this info forever. So I just think I think if that's true, it was a terrible look, and it comes off almost like little kiddish. Well, that's a fact. You can't say that. It's not a fact.
I also wish he wouldn't have said, I don't care about the sticky stuff. And there's been a few guys that have said that, and it's like, no, dude, you need to care. I thought
everything he said went against what he should have been supporting. Like, I think the MLBPA has to be pretty upset with that whole interview.
It wasn't great.
Let it rip, Pete. Gave us some good fodder. Gave the internet some good fodder. Yeah. No, the sticky stuff, I think, is the bad part. Like, don't just fly past that, Pistol Pete. And I love it, We're talking conspiracy theories. Pete drank some Kool-Aid. I don't know who gave it to him.
Does he want to return his arbitration money?
And I'm going to drink the
rookie
Kool-Aid
home run
guy.
king?
No. He wants more money, babe. Now he's hitting these impossible home run balls. Feed the baby.
I will say this. Look, it's a $10 billion industry. Any other $10 billion industry out there got a little bit of corruption in it.
I'm not denying that. And I agree that the fact they own the ball company is scary. And if this is true, then it should be in a grievance where lawyers and smart people are like really handling it well.
Maybe they are, and we don't know.
Maybe. It would take down baseball.
Why is Rob Manfred the worst? Why can't he? Where is his statement? Why isn't he coming out and saying, here's a press conference about the balls, about sticky shit? They don't do any of that. It's so fucking stupid.
If that's true, it takes down baseball.
Nothing takes down baseball, babe.
That's
Jim. There is a past. I mean, just go Google MLB collusion.
I know that stuff, but like
there is a past. Like this shit does happen.
I know, but it's
I'm not saying
for any
this
casual
one in
fan or
particular
like
has
not
happened,
diehard
but-
like us. That's like why would you put any effort into liking or starting to like that sport?
Yes,
Baseball
and
doesn't do
Jill in
casual
the
fans,
chat
though.
just said MLB could easily avoid this by being transparent about the ball changes. Yes, I think that is all we need to know. If you're going through manufacturing issues with the ball, just be transparent about it. Say, hey, look, we switched manufacturers. We're making it differently. Blah blah blah. Just give us something.
Dude, people are so annoying. Someone in chat is now making this into me hating the Mets thing. Has fucking zero to do with the Mets. What are you talking about? And I don't hate the Mets.
Don't hate the Mets.
I
don't know.
Anyone could have said this.
It's just so insane. Trev, you mentioned the $10 billion that you and Rosie were throwing around. I do think when corporations get to a certain size, you just lose something. And it's, I think the NBA for a while, and I'll have to double check this, they had their like agreed basketballs, and like the home players, the home team used to go over to the basketball rack and like pick 3 balls and be like, we're using these today.
Football does that. They give
why can't baseball should have a system like that so the players like the ball they're using?
Well, Verlander gets to, but there's just too many. I think there's just too many balls. Each team has
too many
it's
balls.
the same ball.
Each team has a mud guy, right, Trev?
Oh yeah.
Don't get me started on the rubbing up the balls
yeah.
thing. That needs to be uniform. They should come pre-rubbed. How freaking hard is that? Like you're literally, I mean, it's a lot of work to do it too. So you're making some, clubhouse guy do it. I think that the umpires approve the balls, but the clubhouse guys are the ones rubbing them up.
And then the umps approve it. Yeah.
And one could be, very brown, and one could be very not brown, like a little tan. And just, you're a hitter. You got to pick it up no matter what. Doesn't make any sense. There should be a color-coded chart. It's got to match this, blah, blah, blah. Or just come pre-rubbed.
The ball should be pretty uniform.
Yeah.
Someone, was it you, Trev, that said or was it someone else? I think it might have been you with Rose. Like, the fact that MLB came out and said we're going to deaden the balls, and we as fans didn't really blink an eye is also very scary.
Deaden the balls to make something happen. Like, how about we just have the balls and let the fucking players play the game? Like, that's probably what we should do.
Use the same ball.
It's funny because when we talked with Dr. Meredith Wills, she said her conclusion and she does tons and tons and tons of research on this.
Yes.
Her conclusion was that MLB did not juice the balls on purpose. They're just incompetent, but they'd rather admit to juicing the balls on purpose than admit to being incompetent. And then in the 19 postseason, they ran out of balls, so there was 8 balls from 18 and balls from 19, so that's why you had varying different drag and speed or exit velo and drag on different baseballs.
Yeah, we saw the guys in the World Series reacting like,
yeah,
oh, I hit a homer, and then
Will
they
Smith
didn't. It was
could have changed
Yeah.
baseball
Weird.
history.
yeah, wild.
Okay.
Interleague?
Do we even talk about the White Sox Rays?
Yeah,
White
we're
Sox
a little
Rays at all?
behind the 8 ball. But I guess, did we sneak in all the ads already?
No.
We got one more? All right.
Carlos Rodon.
And it's a big interleague. You want to do interleague?
The Rodon thing is wild. I mean, go check, if you're a baseball nerd, go check out his mile per hour chart year in, year out. It's I saw all the analytics crew was tweeting out like, I thought we couldn't coach this. I thought this was the uncoachable thing, and now man, his numbers are insane. And Lance Lynn dropping it as always. Yes, Monty Grandal's numbers continue to be
Weird.
a weird video game outlier of the sport.
Yeah.
BBD robot me.
And here we go. Interleague play. There was a lot of them, Jake.
Well, boys, I have an official announcement to make before this interleague. I dislike the 2-game interleague sets, but we got a bunch of them. Marlins at the Red Sox. They were actually wrapping up on Monday. This was a makeup game. Sox won, and they sweep the Marlins. Nick Pivetta doing it. How about Arroyo doing good things for the Sox this year? Indians went to St. Louis, and they split. Indians won game 1, 10-1. Bieber, how about it? Tyler O'Neill, my thick daddy. How's your 2-homer day? They win the second game 8-2. Waino was on the bump for that. DeYoung supposed to be coming back Friday. That's today, folks. DBacks at Athletics. Oh, my snakes. Sorry, fellas. They lose 5-2, 4-0. Fire the hitting coaches. Sad times. I did put my hat in the ring to try to help out. Jed Lowry still kind of doing it, and Chris Bassett and Mania with good starts for Jokeland. Mets at Orioles. They split. Another blowout interleague split because I don't think teams care about these at all. 10-3 Orioles, 14-1 Mets. Our guy Taijuan Walker continues to have an incredible season. Love that for him. McKinney and Pilar, 2 yackers each in game 2. How's your outfield? Nats at Rays, and they split. 3-1 Glasnow shoves versus Leicester, and then the Nats win the second one, 11 innings. Hello. 9-7 Corbin versus McClanahan. Good Irish boy. A couple fun home runs in that one. Mr. Nat Ryan Zimmerman doing it. Giants at Rangers, and they also split. 9-4, 4-3. Our guy Gibby was out there, so the Rangers had to win that game by the end of it. Little walk-off single for Brock Holt. Wow, everyone loves some Brock Holt. And Brandon Crawford, might hear some about him later. 2 homers in game 1. And that's the interleague matchups.
I'm in full agreement with you.
Yeah.
The 2-game sets and you split it, almost not worth discussing. Okay, move on to a real series where damage can be done.
I think each team, when they go into a 2-game interleague set, they mentally shake hands before the series and say, you get one, we get one, and we just don't talk about this ever again.
Unless you're the D-backs.
So I think baseball needs to address that. Well, again, D-backs are the smartest front office in baseball, so they're going for picks at this point. So that was a good pump by them.
Yeah, good call.
NL West is tough.
Trev, got anything on any of this stuff?
I'm counting right now. Sorry, math pod.
He's counting.
He's counting.
I've already moved on a little bit. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think the Nationals Rays series was pretty cool. Do you see like the Juan Soto? He like really like humped the air against Tyler Glass now. That was a fun matchup to watch right there. Like that a lot.
I like Glass now.
Yeah.
Don't talk
Yeah.
about Tyler O'Neill too much because there might be some.
Good for the A's for sweeping. And then everything else, yeah, I don't really care.
It's a split. I hate the interleague 2 gamers. They
Where Yankees got one coming up.
you know, I'm a fan of one day that the teams play every team each year for a little home and home, because I think that's a good way to get stars in front of fans, because you watch your team. So if I can get my stars in front of you and you say, oh yeah, I saw Mookie Betts and I like him. But yeah, no, I mean this kind of does nothing for me except good for the A's. They're rolling right now, and good for the Diamondbacks. We're getting that 1 pick.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh. Stop it with that.
What?
They fired their hitting coaches and promoted the run creation
They
coach.
hired their AAA hitting coach and their AAA run production coordinator, I
Run
believe.
production coordinator.
What a freaking title that is. Are you kidding me?
I'm ready for that.
I mean, come on with this.
Trev,
guy.
they also have
I'm a
a
freaking
run
coach.
prevention coordinator.
Yeah.
So on Talkin' Yanks last
So a
night,
defensive coach.
we wrote a really good
prevention
no, it's run
coach.
prevention. We wrote a really good skit when the run prevention coordinator for the Diamondbacks and the run production coordinator for the Diamondbacks walked past each other in the hallway. Do you want us to act it out for you?
Please.
Okay, so Jake
Top 7. 2 outs, runner on second. You got your 2-hole hitter up. Starting pitcher, he's on his 85th pitch. You pitching around him. You throwing up the 4s.
what do they got up in the pen?
Is the pen rested?
Yeah. They just go through scenarios nonstop.
They play baseball chess.
Yeah, baseball chess. Yeah.
Mental baseball chess.
First and third, 1 out. How you play in the infield?
2017 Corey Seager is up.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. It's literally a hitting coach and a defensive coach, and there we go, guys. I can't stand that.
It's
How
a
about this?
run
Let me ask you this.
prevention coordinator. Have some respect for the title, Trev.
Jake Snakes.
Yes.
I had a question about them. Torey Lovello came out and said, I fired them. And the GM said, yeah, Torey fired them. What's up with that?
What?
We're just falling on swords.
You didn't see that?
What?
Torey Lovello came out and said, I was the one who fired them. And the GM was like, yeah, Torey Lovello, that was his call. He fired them.
What?
Yeah. What's up?
We're falling on swords. It's that time of year.
What?
Strange. That usually never happens.
They told Torrey, if you fall on this sword, we'll let you run out the season and we'll reevaluate at the end of the year.
It's not like a big sword to fall on.
Who's the D-backs GM?
I think it's George.
You better know. If you want that job, Jake, you better find out.
Mike Hazen.
Hazen.
Hazen, tighten up your shit
Barely
and
know her.
like get some accountability. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I'm curious, like why.
That's a
they had to say
fucking
that.
awful look. If you're the GM or anyone above the manager, what are you doing? Do they think that's a better look? Are they just trying to
seems like-
goat Lovello into like him being next? But it's so obvious. Hey, what the fuck? If you're the head of hiring and firing, then you're the fucking head of hiring and firing.
I think it's Torrey looking to save his job. That's what it looks like. 'Cause
I know.
they've had
I
his
agree with
back.
Jake's assessment. But I'm in agreement with that. That's a horrible look for the GM. You have lieutenants firing sergeants or whatever the hell the order is.
Yeah, it's not a perfect equation because, I mean, if you're, ahead of a company and your chief marketing person fires a marketing person that works for them, you say, okay.
Well,
but this is taking blame. This is a lot of proud people and passing blame to whoever.
That sucks for
will do it.
Lovello.
Yeah. He'll tell us the real story after the season.
I guess that's what's more weird about it. It's like, well, that's a lie.
Yeah.
So you just all agreed to tell the public this lie?
Maybe it was. Maybe Torrey was like, look, I better do something. He went to the GM and was like, let's fire these guys.
But even then, he asked permission. It's not like he went to the GM and was like, hey, man, just to let you know, I just fired the hitting coaches. And the GM's like, oh, okay, wow, Torrey, you did that? Like, what are we doing here?
And these are all ball players, too. That's the thing. Is like, that's like a code, man.
Yeah, it's just not how that would work. So that's weird. All right. Want to move on to second half of the show?
Good job, A's.
Good job by the A's. The standings as of now, Rays are in first, White Sox are in first, A's are in first, Mets, Cubs and Brewers are tied for first, and Giants are still in first place. Good job by everyone. And second half of the show is brought to you by Dugout Mugs. They got MLB mugs. They got every single MLB team. It is the perfect Father's Day graduation Little League coach present. To get them, they got the knob shots, which Trev is holding up. They got the wind-ups. They got a ton of stuff. Go check them out. They give great discounts to our listeners, 35% off with code JOMBOY. So go check them out and get a mug.
Yeah.
They're good stuff. Baseball bat mugs.
Shout out Zendino.
Father's Day a week and a couple days away.
Shout out Zendino.
Zendino.
All right, guys. My standout performance is a guy that's gotten a standout performance for me already or from us already, but I can't stop doing it. 8 innings pitched, 0 walks, 12 strikeouts for Zach Wheeler against a division opponent, against the Braves. Only allowed 4 hits, and he's having himself just a hell of a year. I mean, it's a hell of a line. He battled Ion Anderson, who also only allowed 4 hits, but only went 7 innings and did walk 1 person. But, I mean, 12 strikeouts, 0 walks. I kind of wish I was tuning in for this whole start to see, each at-bat from start to finish because he must have been on one. I don't even know. And he had back-to-back games where he allowed earned runs. 3 earned runs to the Rays and then 2 earned runs to the Nats. So I think he was like, I got to right the ship here, even though it wasn't even that bad. Zach Wheeler's playing some good pitcher.
Talked about it in the midweek ep. All the analytics support him. He was one of the players that was most in line with his statistics, and he's number 2 in WAR this year. I'm sure wherever you get your WAR, that might jumble a little bit, but Brandon Woodruff, Zach Wheeler. So wheels up in Philly, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they signed him, people were saying, "Oh, they took the bait there. Zach Wheeler's not going to give them what they wanted." He's been excellent for Philadelphia. So I love when that shit happens. Proving everybody wrong, baby.
Every day of Jake's life.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great compliment I gave you. Yeah, you're up next.
Okay. My standout performance is my short king, not 5'11", probably more like 5'9". Tyler O'Neill, 3 for 4, 2 homers, 3 RBIs. The guy does it all. I always forget that he won a Gold Glove, and he's been showing that off. He's been really good in the outfield. He's had a hit in 15 of his last 16 games, guys.
What? Say that again?
Some good JOMBOY stuff.
Say that again?
Right there. That's the stuff he likes.
15 hits out of his last 16, or 15 games out of his last 16, he's had a hit, raising his batting average to 291. The highest.
I do like that. Day in, day out. It's not 3 good games in a 10-game stretch to get the numbers up. It's every day he's contributing. Dude. Yeah.
He's been a guy, he can kind of do it all on the baseball field, and boy, does he look good in a uniform, and I like that about him. And he's Canadian. Gotta love those Canucks. Is that what you call them? Canucks?
Sometimes. You see it? You see his last 16 games stats? Fuck. He's good.
Doing it.
383 batting average, 422 on base, last 16 games, 64 plate appearances. Hell yeah.
His batting average right now is as high as it's ever been. I love looking back like, oh, did he go like 2 for 4 on the first day of the season? And his batting average is 500. Nope, he went 1 for 4, so it's 250. And it's at 291 now. It's the highest it's been all dang season.
Since June 5th.
Getting hot.
Love it.
June
Big
5th.
prospect. Looks like it's panning out. I love that. Doesn't always click instantly for guys, Trev. Look at me.
Proving him wrong every single day.
He's almost 26. He's got a lot of time left to develop into like a baller, a guy.
Me and Tyler both fire hydrants with arms, is what people are saying.
Still making the league minimum this year.
Weird sport. It's a great one, Trev.
It is
a great
good.
one.
Jake, who's your standout performance?
I'm going with the king. I'm going with the daddy king. Kind of an underrated daddy king. I'm going with Crawdaddy. Brandon Crawford, your shortstop for your San Francisco Giants. He has a 2-homer day. He also becomes the San Francisco Giant with the most games played at shortstop. I mean, this guy...
Really?
Yes.
In the history of San Francisco?
Yes.
Okay, not...
How's
Not
your
New York.
casual 2.4 WAR this year, age 34 season? And man, this guy, you know, I just Googled his name to see what would pop up, and there's a couple San Francisco blogs that are like, is Brandon Crawford a Hall of Famer? And I think if you run into the analytics or the too proud baseball crew, you're going to be in for a bad time there. When we open our Hall of Baseball, Brandon Crawford's in there, 34 years old. He's got 26.6 career WAR, 3-time Gold Glove, 2-time All-Star, 2-time World Series. He's got a Silver Slugger in the bat. And by the way, right now he's having his best year. 262 batting average, 912 OPS. This is from a slick fielding shortstop. He's a big part of the Giants' success this year. Longo goes down. Other guys have been hurt. Crawdaddy is out there, babe. And it's a contract year for him, so he might even get a little more paid as he winds down. Already got $80 million in the bank. Why don't we get a little more of a payday? Brandon Crawford, my dude.
Love it. James, don't look at his page. He's led the league in one category in his career. It's in 2016. I need you to guess what category.
Offensive?
Offensive. I asked you for a reason.
Oh. Sack bunts.
Triples, baby.
I was going to say triples, then you said you asked... I was going to say triples, you said you asked me for a reason.
Jimmy.
You love triples.
I was thinking like
Jimmy.
what I got asked to do as a baseball
Trust
player.
your heart.
Oh, you love triples.
Trust
11
your
in
heart.
2016 led the league.
He's
So
got 2 10-triple seasons.
BBD, I'm going to send you what I have on the big screen here. And I don't think that these two look alike, but I think they're clearly, it's the same style on two different faces.
If you went clean cuts, these guys wouldn't look alike at all, but they have the same exact facial hair going, which
And hair. And hair. I'm
hair.
going to send it. BBD's going to put it on the screen because one of these guys you say is hot, Trev. I just slacked it to you, BBD. And
does Crawford count as like daddy hot, Trev? I mean, 34, he's got a good
Yeah.
amount of
Oh,
money in
yeah,
the bank.
he's a
so
sugar
it's
daddy.
the
He's a
same
sugar
like
daddy.
hair and beard, but on different faces.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a good, you know, like you see someone else wearing a style and you're like, would that look good on me?
It's kind of like Liev Shriver and myself, but if we had the same hair.
Isn't it just Liv? Is it
That's
Lee?
Liv Tyler.
Oh,
Leave Schreiber.
Leave.
Schreiber.
yeah. BBD's trying. It's your dude McCullers and Crawford.
I think they're both good looking guys. They're like kind of have that like dirty bad boy, like
Yes.
probably has a motorcycle, like
Yep,
not like
you're
the
nailing it.
best, not like the best guy to bring home to mom, like
Yeah.
only wears white shirts and jeans.
Crawford
with a-
could be
you know,
like
with
a little
leather
bit more of the
jacket.
haggard older brother vibe.
Oh, he's got bad. I've seen his style.
He could play.
He's got
Yeah.
bad style.
He could play
He's from the Bay.
the older brother in the movie that like had it all and then it fell apart.
The Bay kind of prides itself on being different style-wise.
It's different.
Yeah. You know, he has 2 seasons with the double digits, doubles, triples, homers. I really like that. I wonder how often that happens.
And I'd love to see, you know, we did this with Brandon Belt. One episode was seeing if he played there. It's on the screen now. If Brandon Belt had played his whole career at Yankee Stadium, how many extra homers would he had? And it was like 2 extra a season, which
I think it was like 3 or 5 extra a season.
It's nothing to scoff at. I mean, Brandon Crawford, another lefty with some pull to him. You wonder what the stats look like. I mean, I think the WAR numbers disagree a little bit. I would love to do, when it's all said and done, Brandon Crawford versus Andrelton Simmons. Because I think WAR, because of young Simba's special ability on defense, he's racked up more points there. I think you can make an argument. B. Crawford, hell of a career. Like him.
Yeah, just say that. Just say he's had a great career. We don't need to compare these guys.
Let's compare guys.
All right.
Who's dating whose sister?
Crawford is dating... No, someone's
Garrett
dating...
Cole
Garrett
is
Cole's
married
married
to-
to Crawford's sister.
Married to
Cole
his
is
sister.
married to Amy Crawford.
Yes.
Now Cole.
Our friend Ken. That was his fun fact. Every time you ever...
What's
no, that
that
was a
baby? Do
different
they have
connection.
kids?
That was...
He just loves any
Kevin
wife.
Love.
He loves Matt Leinart,
Leinart.
and Blake Griffin.
That's the one, yeah.
Same baby mama, I think.
Okay, guys.
Another
It's time to say goodbye to Trev real quick. What are we looking at? Crawford.
Most handsome ugly guy.
Just a good line.
Well, I think he would clean up nice. I think
Yeah.
Trev's saying the style that both these guys do
Yeah.
is like, I'm going to dirty myself up a little bit.
Yeah. Little grunge.
Yeah.
It's like the wet, curly hair look.
Those guys...
Similar beards.
Yeah, those guys go to coffee shops in Seattle with like...
We grow Jom's hair out a
Band
little bit.
stickers.
You're part of the club.
I don't-
Trim the beard.
I don't get like wet or curly.
We can do that.
Sure,
I'll get you
have to
wet and
really style
curly.
it. Come on now. Trev, see you later.
Where am I going?
Slump Watch. All right, we had 6 guys on from last episode, so it's more than we like. We have 5 potential ads. BBD, who are the potential additions?
The guys, a bunch of guys that we don't like to see in this section. Reese Hoskins, he's 0 for 13 last series. Austin Meadows is 0 for 9, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Eddie Escobar 0 for 7, 3 Ks and a walk. Sean Murphy 0 for 6, an RBI mixed in there, 2 walks. And Dylan Carlson's 0 for 9 with 4 Ks.
Man. Okay.
Tough.
Good news is our dude Yermin Mercedes,
Our dude.
he was on Slump Watch. He went 3 for 8 with a double. He's
Gone.
off. He also had 2 walks, so I'm very happy for
Get
him.
it going. Get hot again, you mean. Your numbers came down a little bit. Get hot.
Zanino, he went 1 for 2 with 3 walks. A catcher, so he doesn't play every game, but they also only played 2 games. He's off.
Racket.
Rizzo, 4 for
Yes.
10. Only guy in that series to get 4 hits, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs, a hit by pitch, which is what he does. So he's off. Wow.
Yep.
We did great, dude.
Yep.
Freight Train, Peralta, they only played 2 games, right? He went 1 for 3 with a walk, so
Yeah.
I'm still taking him off.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He's hot. He's thinking about it.
All right, so let's pause there. We're definitely
C Dick's gone.
Corey
He had a
Dickerson?
great series, yeah.
3 for 11. Okay.
2
Both
walks.
hits, extra base hits, a
right.
triple-double.
He's gone. Reese Hoskins an ad.
Yeah.
We like our boy
Automatic.
Reese. So look what we're doing for people.
Automatic.
They
yeah.
find out that they're on Slump Watch. They're like, shit, I better not have another bad series because then I'll be slumping.
You're going to be off.
They're watching. I'm going to put our dude Meds on there
Yep.
because I like Austin Meadows. And
He's
hey,
having a great year.
Yeah.
hey Meadows, alley's always open.
Yeah. Get ready.
All the Yankee killers
You want the funk?
are getting invited to the alley.
You want the funk?
You want to do Eduardo Escobar?
Yeah, I mean, Eduardo Escobar, this I think would be his 3rd time on Slump Watch. And I think every time it's been shame to flame. So I think we found out, and this is part of why we did this as a segment, is like I think Eduardo Escobar is one of the streakier players in baseball. And could be a potential trade deadline guy. So I'm interested in that.
I think he's one of the
And-
guys that, like, when he hits it, he hits it.
And that's why I want to keep Schwarber on.
I'm with you on
He went
that.
1 for 6 with 2 walks, but because he's a trade deadline option for some people, as the Nats continue to lose, I'd like to track them for one more time, if you're cool with it.
I'm fine with that, and that leaves Sean Murphy and Dylan Carlson. I want to leave Murph. It's an 0 for 6. I mean, we've all been there. He's got a couple walks, too. Dylan Carlson, 0 for 9, 4 Ks, while his outfield mate, Tyler O'Neill, is figuring it out. And those were their 2 young stud outfielders coming into this season. We thought Carlson would be the switch hitter in the middle of the lineup, and Tyler O'Neill.
Is Carlson having a bad season? Because I think Carlson fits Slump more than this because there's more on the line. And he went 0 for 9 with no walks. Sean Murphy did have 2 walks.
Yeah, that's where, Sean Murphy doesn't deserve to be on this list.
So you want Carlson on Slump Watch?
Yes.
Oh, we fully agree then.
Oh, all right.
I heard you as you wanted Murphy and not Carlson. I don't know
No.
why. So yeah, Carlson it is.
Yeah.
Bam.
Bang biscuit.
Hoskins, Meadows, Eddie Escobar, Schwarbo, and Dylan Carlson.
Need Trev.
Good shit.
Need him.
Good shit. Trev, welcome back. Sorry you had to listen to all that, but
Not 100% sure we've got Trev back yet.
imagine if he, disconnected.
Internet's been battling me.
Yeah.
I don't have internet. It'd be funny if he's gone now because we don't have internet. Did he text us?
That'd be how it
So
works.
he's trying to join. Here he is.
Okay. All right, you there,
All
Trev?
right.
Missed the whole segment.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Is that your dream?
Awesome.
You want to know? Hey, Trev, here's the good news. We had 6 guys on last week. 5 of them worked their way off. So do you see what we're doing for guys?
I gotta say this. I hate when podcasters say podcast rub or podcast luck. So I don't want to start with that.
Well, we have 2
Motivating.
we have
Sorry.
2 we have 2 friends of the podcast that are on Slump Watch, Hoskins and Meadows. So
We're hoping that happens, but it's not going to be because we put them on Slump Watch. I just
They're
wanna
going to
make
be
that
off.
Clear.
Trev, we can't do this again.
Unless
Go
they're
to the next
listening.
segment.
the next segment is
Dirt nasties on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
Pete Alonso, 5 for 9 with 3 home runs. Get him, Pete. Max Stassi, 7 for 12. That's a 583 BA with 2 homers and 2 doubles. Hot. Starling Marte, a little trade watch bait maybe. 11 for 17. He popped a homer and a double, a walk and a hit by pitch. Also grabbed himself 2 backs. So did it with the feet and the arms. Stanton, 6 for 15 with 3 homers off Dobnak and Hap, which, tough pitches. The pitches he
He
hit.
needs the rest now.
Yeah.
He's tired.
See you on Tuesday.
He's pinch hitting this week.
That's
I got him in there. Robbie Grossman, 6 for 13 with 2 homers and 2 doubles. Andujar, third baseman, now left fielder for the Yankees. Runner-up in Rookie of the Year in 2018. Hasn't performed since then. Is doing it. His last 15 days and stuff are good for Andujar, so good job. Alex Bregman got shit-talked by that little punk kid, but had himself a hell of a series. 6 for 13, home run, 2 doubles. If we have any little kids listening that want to do that stuff, if my opinion matters to you at all, I'd say don't. I felt bad for Bregman in that moment. He's being really nice to fans. He's being
What
really nice
happened?
to fans. A fan called him over and asked for a selfie, and Bregman really nicely walked over for a selfie, and then he says, "Yeah, right. I don't want a selfie with you, cheater." And then go bang another trash can. There was a bad word or 2 in there, I think. Bregman handled it well. He just kind of smiled,
Kind of moved on.
chanting from your seat as they play. But I don't know. It just felt like, geez, that's
You're young.
It's bound to happen.
You're young.
It will
once.
happen. A lot of people don't care, in my opinion. But if someone did, I'd say leave them alone a little bit, on a personal level. You want to chant stuff from the stands, that's fine. But he was being real nice. Xander Bogaerts, 6 for 14 with a homer and a double. Jazz Chisholm, 7 for 18, homer, double. And Enrique Hernandez, Kike, went 6 for 14 with 3 doubles. I mean, everyone was hitting in Boston.
Love that. Yeah.
Boom.
Stanton was locked in. That was really fun to watch at a certain point. And, I know this is Yankee stuff. Miguel Andujar, kind of cool. Had that awesome 2018 season. Had a couple injuries. Never got full run. because of these Yankees not hitting. He's gotten run, and it looks really good. He's a fun guy, good guy to like, big smile, has fun, and when he is barreling balls, it's like a pretty baseball image. So, little Yankees update there.
Bada bing, bada boom. Moving on to awards.
To the what? Say, huh? Oh yeah.
I'm going to keep mine quick because we're running a little longer than usual, and I'm going to go first, and I'm going to give the Happy Tears Award. Ooh. And if this becomes my repeat segment and I just tell everyone about the happiest tears of the week or weekend, I will do that. I'm fine with it, but I made the breakdown on Luke Williams going from, lighting up AAA to Team USA to his first series against the Braves. His parents are in the crowd. His dad's in the crowd. He hits the walk-off home run. His first home run. His bunt single was exciting. The breakdown, it takes me like 2 hours to make it. I got chills and like watery eyes the entire time just watching his parents get interviewed. And, his bunt single, his brother, I didn't really highlight this. His bunt single, his brother takes his jersey, his hat, and his shirt off immediately and starts whipping around celebrating in that fashion, which is like fun. The walk-off home run, the brother is almost like at a loss for words and not celebrating, in the state of like emotional shock, where he's just kind of doing that like the whole time. I didn't really highlight that because I didn't know how, but that was cool to see the difference and then the brother hug on the field. So if you haven't seen the breakdown or the highlights or his story, like go check those out. But it is even, man, I think it's the pandemic shit and not having fans forever. There's little kids in the outfield when he hits that home run, and they're just going fucking nuts, dude. Like, so many people being overcome with the same joy at the same time gives me chills, even though I don't care about the Phillies or them beating the Braves, or it's a really, really fun vibe. Even that Arkansas, the College World Series stuff too. But I wake up early and I start making those breakdowns. I'm in an emotional state sometimes. So the happy tears goes to Luke Williams.
Like that. That's a cool story, man.
If you're not feeling some goosebumps, some tears, go to your doctor.
Yeah.
Go to your doctor.
I like everyone supporting him too. It wasn't just like his family. It's like all the players that play with him on Team USA, like everyone in the minor leagues that played with him. Like, he was a well-liked guy because they're all just very happy for him. It's cool.
Yeah. Harper, Reese, Neris. Neris went like chemical lab on his eyes. Like he touched something and he had to squeeze the waters right into his eyes. That was the only part. I'm like, man, that guy sucks. All right. Trev, you're up next.
I'm going Talkin baseball.
Okay.
Obviously.
Do we have
award,
is there Lord of the Rings royalty-free music we can start playing behind this when you do it?
No, don't do Game of Thrones. Stop. Let me finish, man.
Quack.
This is the At First Light on the Fifth Day at Dawn Look to the East award.
Oh, that is a good scene.
Yeah. Stop.
No, I'm not. You said it's like the best scene in the movie. You're right.
That was genuine.
It's a great scene.
Yeah.
It's a great scene. So, to go into it a little bit, the battle for Helm's Deep seems all but lost. The Uruk-hai have taken the keep. Theoden and Legolas and Gimli and Aragorn are in the back, and they've basically given up. And then they ride out, and they say, you know what? Like, let's give one last stand. And Aragorn the whole time is remembering what Gandalf said. At first light, on the fifth day at dawn, look to the east. They ride out, they meet the Uruk-hai, they're all riding their horses, and then boom, a bright white light comes from the top of the hill. It's Gandalf riding Shadowfax with the Rohirrim, the Riders of Rohan.
Riders of Rohan.
I don't know nothing, man.
Yeah.
They ride down the hill.
Yeah.
They ride down the hill. The Uruk-hai are ready to battle. They have their spears out. Then Gandalf shines the bright light. They can't see. Boom. They go in. They end up taking the battle back. In this scenario, Gandalf would be Trevor's story, and the Riders of Rohan will be his game. He is coming to help somebody out that's in the murky waters of the season. We talked about it a little bit this morning on the Chris Rose IG live show. We named two teams who he could help out, and these are kind of two really fun teams, and I want to see what you guys think. I said the Oakland A's. Now, I know it's on Elvis Andrus at the beginning of the season. He has not gotten it done. But an infield with Matt Chapman, Matt Olson, Trevor Story, and even our guy Jed Lowry is a hell of an infield. And I think Trevor Story puts them over the top there. And they got the Astros there. They're battling for that division. The other one who Chris Rose brought in was the Tampa Bay Rays. Just got rid of Adames. And we know Wander Franco's there at AAA. Slide him over to second base for the second half of the season. Bring in Trevor Story on a rental piece. They're leading the AL East right now, but we know it's going to be a tough battle there. I think Trevor Story helps both these teams immensely. He helps any team, but I really like to see him go to one of those two teams because it'd be a lot of fun.
Beautiful. I really, there's some times where I think I go, there's that Ted Lasso scene where someone says a sentence to him when he first gets to England, and he turns to his assistant coach, just like, I went 1 for 5 in that sentence. He just doesn't know any of the words. It's confusing, man. But I'm so happy that you do it. The Rays don't make trades like that. The A's kind of do if the money gets lower. I agree that fun and fit
expendable prospects.
Fun and fit work, but he's still owed decent money for the remainder of the season. So I like the A's, but they've done rentals before.
Yeah.
The Rays, I think they're too into themselves.
It's not that expensive. Man.
What is it, 10 mil?
I think it's less than that.
I mean, by the time you get to the trade deadline and you do that kind of stuff, it gets lower. And if the Rockies can eat a little bit, especially if you offer more prospect capital, which they ate a chunk of Arenado. So it's going to be interesting. My heart tells me the Story team isn't out there yet. I think it's going to have to be injury because I just don't think Oakland has that in the tank this year. And Tampa's never done it, so it's just unprecedented. Whatever their formula is, it doesn't say, make that nuclear move. But I don't know. I'm excited.
You want to get eyeballs off the stadium Story in Oakland, moving the team? You bring in Trevor Story and say, we're fucking going for it. Balls out.
I think the owner wants the eyes on that Story because he wants them to buy a stadium for him. God, where's Trevor gonna go? Go to the Angels. Let's fuck around. Let's just do it.
They need more hitting.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
Be a good Angels.
You know what's gonna happen?
It's gonna
the same thing with Odorizzi. The Angels are gonna have a deal in place for Trevor Story, and they're gonna be really excited about it. And then another team's shortstop is gonna get injured, and they're just gonna outbid the Angels at the last second.
I like that.
Jake? What are you drinking out of?
It's a little.
Is that your daughter's tea set?
Nice.
Trev, why is
I don't like these cups, but they're perfect size for the Nespresso machine.
Okay. Looks small.
These would be perfect for Jake's comically.
Can you drink out of that with just your pinky through the finger hole?
I am giving out the Battle of Hornburg Award. On this episode of Talkin Baseball, a very similar relationship to what me and Trev have. Gimli, son of Gloin, and Legolas, son of Thranduil, they also have that kind of back and forth, that mutual respect and brotherly love while also taking shots at each other. And Jim, something fun they do, maybe a couple actual scenes you would like from this movie is when they go into battle. They have kill competitions, and when they do kill, they count them off as they go. So they'll be like 3, 4, and they start firing them off. They kill like a big guy, and I think Gimli that should count as that's only one kill.
I'm not into it.
Those scenes are really good, but it's the orcs, it's the bad guys. So in Hornburg, they do that. We see that in a couple other fight scenes. And, there's guys that didn't get a mention in this episode, and they are going back and forth. They are brothers, a righty and a lefty. Don't make Olivia wormy. She is an Egyptian princess. Two guys whose names didn't get said this episode, and we do talk about them a lot, but you can't talk about them enough. There's 3 guys with OPSs that are 1 dot right now. One is Vladito. The other two come from those Cincinnati Reds. It is Nick Castellanos and Jesse Winker. And it's not like it's a 1.001, 1.057 for Winker, 1.038 for Castellanos. Man, these guys are having very special years. We talked about it on the all JOMBOY team, and Ronnie's name and defense stands out a little more. But what these guys are doing in this season, where the story has been guys aren't hitting and pitchers are cheating, holy smokes, they both have 413 on base. The numbers are incredible, and I don't know. Are there going to be trade rumors with either of those guys? The Reds would have to fall out a lot, but boy, could you cash in on some chips, Poppy? I think those guys are going toe-to-toe all year. I'm interested to see who ends the season with the most kills. You know, Gimli says he gets one more kill than Legolas. There's some rumors in the different Lord of the Rings forums that Legolas has more kills, but because they're friends, he lets Gimli walk away.
I was going to say, Legolas is a stand-up dude.
With the fact that he might
He's like
have
Trev
one more
in
kill.
the relationship.
But people have bucked that because lying in Tolkien's world is so frowned upon that if that were allowed, that there's some other quotes going back in some of the other stories. And, you know, the books depict Gimli as a much better character. The movies, sometimes they make Gimli the punchline. I thought it was the perfect award.
Yeah, and being a book guy,
Yeah.
you kind of go one way. Can I say the chat cracked me up right before you started because Amy came in and said, "Are these pre-recorded?" And then Pat just straight up lied to her and said yes.
Yeah.
And then she said, "Okay."
Yeah.
Just a straight
up
just
lie.
a straight up lie. And now
Straight
Amy's
lie
there
season.
thinking, "Oh, they're pre-recorded."
Oh.
I didn't like Amy didn't know Pat was a liar.
Yeah.
That's how easy it is.
That's
Pat
the
the
world.
Flom.
I like it. I like the battle.
Thank you.
Castellanos, Winker's his swing is nice. He's moving up in my sweet swings in baseball.
We might be chatting with him soon.
Teaser.
You should. And then speaking of that, everyone who hasn't watched the Castellanos interview with Rose Rotation, go check it out. He's
He's
an
one of the
absolute-
best players
Award-winning.
ever.
Yeah, it should win some awards. Do we win any awards? Like, we should be winning awards. I want
Pretty
an
cool
award.
guys award.
We should.
I'm making an award up and just do it.
Yeah.
I think you just pay people to give you an award.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if awards work like how everything else is, you just
pay for
pay a
awards.
publicist to pay someone else to give you an award.
If someone wanted to make Tolkien baseball graphics with like me,
I don't think we
Jake,
can use
Jimmy, and
Tolkien.
BBD as like Lord of the Rings characters, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Well, it would be without the G. Is there usually a G? How's it spelled? No G, right?
No, we just have to change.
It'll be
it a little bit.
Tolkien baseball.
Okay.
Yeah, Talkin.
All right.
And then
yeah.
we'll all be different characters.
Yeah.
I'm Aragorn. If you're gonna do that, I'm Aragorn.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Who's the best friend of the week, BBD?
Best friend of the week is Walker Bueller. 7
Wow.
shutty, 2 Ks. That's fun. 2 hits and a walk.
Okay. Walker.
He also said, "Screw your sticky stuff allegations. I'm gonna go out there and shove."
Do you have Jim as
Yeah.
Boromir if we do that shirt?
I have Jim as Gandalf,
Ooh, okay. I like that.
which is I'm pretty jealous because Shadowfax is like the dopest thing, and you have Shadowfax.
1 for 5 there.
I don't think you were.
He's
You know
he's
Gandalf, you shall not
he's like
pass.
this big white horse.
Which one's
and
Gandalf?
all
You
he has to
shall
do is
not
whistle.
pass?
Shall not pass.
That's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I would have said Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Sarah Marshall, yeah.
He's
There's like
doing
this
Lord of
breed
the
of
Rings in that scene.
horses.
Yes.
I had zero idea.
Yeah.
I thought that was him just going crazy in his apartment.
I feel like we got a lot of Gimlis in this panel right here. No offense.
Whoa.
All right, elevator talk.
Elevator talk.
It's time for elevator talk. If you get in an elevator and there's a person standing next to you and they're wearing a hat of this team, here's some fodder. The St. Louis Cardinals. Wow.
Ooh,
wow, wow,
in the
wow,
loo.
wow, 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 wow.
Trev,
wow.
any update from Jay Flair? I saw he's probably out through the All-Star break is what I saw most recently.
I've been checking in randomly with him, seeing how he's feeling. I mean, in the early days of this, he's like, man, it hurts. And
Yeah.
that's true. Like, you don't realize how much you need that oblique muscle to be intact. because every single thing you do, you're going to feel it. So I think he's kind of in the healing stages of it now, resting, doing all that. But he'll be back. Like, that guy is Mamba mentality, man. That's what he does. And
I have a little
apply that
tidbit
to
that
rehab.
can I just do a little tidbit? Trevor Rosenthal was DMing me about Yachty and Waino and how they communicate. And he said, Yachty called for went through all the pitches and Waino was shaking him off. And then I didn't watch this. I wanted to watch it. He said, then Yachty motioned for him like curve. He's swinging. So Waino threw it. And then the next pitch, because they had a little bickering there about all the pitches and Yachty won, he said the next pitch Yachty just didn't give a sign. And Trevor Rosenthal said, like, that's the scariest thing. Yachty will do that to you a lot. And he'll just say, throw it. And you just don't know if, like, you're supposed to throw what you want or you're supposed to throw this is my interpretation. You don't know if you're supposed to throw what you want or you don't know if you're supposed to throw what Yachty wants. And he was talking to me about that. So you can share that tidbit with the Cardinals guy in the elevator.
Love that. That's a deep
like
cards
that.
cut. That's what I've been saying for years. Catchers shouldn't be able to flash signs. Pitchers just got to throw it. React, babe.
That would suck.
Who's hotter, Harrison Bader or Tyler O'Neill?
Ooh.
Okay, and this will be the final thing you can say in the elevator. I'm racing for pictures.
Nolan Arenado, by the way, 842 OPS, 136 OPS plus. Looks like you can hit a little bit outside of course.
My internet's down. Harrison Bader isn't doing himself well from my memory of him. He looks like a 80s aerobics workout guy that teaches like old women at a beach club.
Harry's almost doing a little too much. I think he's naturally a little hotter.
That's what I'm thinking. Naturally, yes, but he's
trying to do a little too much.
He's getting in on the other stuff.
Tommy Edman racking up WAR.
Whoa!
Jake Sox,
Jake Sox,
come on!
come on!
What's in the box?
What's in the
know. Stupid fat hobbit.
A lot of Gimlis running around this.
That was just Jake in the shower.
Gollum.
That was just Jake talking to himself in the shower every morning.
Gollum.
Please, someone caricature me